Hi, my name's Leo and I'm a boat builder and a sailor. A few years ago I bought a very old and quite famous wooden sailing boat for the price of $1. And since then I've rebuilt that boat from the keel up with the help of a lot of amazing people. Now we're actually out sailing tally-ho, and this video is going to be about our trip into Canada and up the coast of British Columbia into some pretty remote areas. Now a few of you may have noticed that there wasn't a video last week where there normally would have been, and that's because we've been sailing in these remote areas and actually our Starlink system went down, so we've had no internet at all for the last 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to upload a video. And we've just arrived at a spot with internet, which is where I'm going to upload this video from. Okay, so we just motored from the last place we were staying in the San Juan Islands, Reed Harbour, on Stewart Island, and we're approaching Canoe Cove, which is our first port of call in Canada. It's a little town just north of Sydney, which itself is northeast of Victoria, and some crazy tides around here. We're just navigating through some small islands on our way in, and then we'll clear customs and we'll be in Canada. So that's exciting.
Yeah!
Dang, look at those rips!
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Hey dude, how you doing?
Yeah, good to see you. After entering Canada at Canoe Cove and being met by a friend of mine, Jesse, we continued to sail north through the Gulf Islands to a place called Ladysmith, where we've been invited to sail with a historic wooden sailing boat, another gaff cutter, a smaller one called Dorothy, which I believe is the oldest Canadian sailing boat still in Canada. The wind was very light when we arrived, and so it was a perfect opportunity for us to try and fly our Jackyard Topsail for the very first time. So tally-ho is a gaff cutter, and above her gaff mainsail we often fly a working topsail, which fills in the little triangle gap between the topmast and the gaff. And the Jackyard Topsail is a similar shape to the topsail, but it extends beyond the topmast and beyond the gaff, and it does that by having two spars which are attached to the sail, and so you have to hoist those spars up with the sail. They're big wooden poles, and they stick up beyond the very top of the mast and beyond the end of the gaff, extending the sail area even higher than the normal rig. And you may think that little extra bit of canvas might not make much difference, but the higher the canvas is, the more effective it is, because there's very often more wind higher up. And so just having that extra bit of sail area can actually make a real difference in light airs. It is, however, a lot of work to get that sail rigged and set it up in the rig, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong and snag. And so being the first time we'd ever done it, we were a little bit nervous. We're invited here to sail with Canada's oldest sailboat, which is pretty cool, and she's right behind us right now. She's called Dorothy. She was built in 1893, and she's been recently restored.
1897.
1897 is what I said. I believe a good portion of the boat is still original, so that's really cool, and she's out here sailing. She looks beautiful.
We ready about?
Ready.
Tacking. And over.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, stay all the way. Okay, ready, Leo?
Yep.
Pull this as fast as you can.
Ready?
Fast and hard.
It's very loose.
Go, 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 go.
Sorry.
Oh no, the sheet, it's on the wrong side. What did you say, Patty?
Fouling the yard, dude.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, is it the sheet or no, it's the running?
It's the backstay.
What?
It's the backstay. They're lazy backstay.
Okay.
What if we hand it to this guy?
Oh, that was close.
Excuse me. Do you want to give us a quick hand?
We can't go there.
Give it a whip. Oh yeah.
Yes! Yes! Everybody get your shades on for style.
Stay on.
All right, so we've got the Jackyard Topsail up and it looks fantastic. It's been a long time coming, seeing that sail up at the top of the rig there, and Bob did a great job rigging it to hoist. We used a release line, so it was all bundled up when it was hoisted through the rig, and then we tugged on the release line and it undid and the sail unfurled. And traditionally you use wool or bits of old rotten line for that, because they can just break, but we don't have any of that on board right now, and this worked just fine. And it set almost perfectly the first time. We did just hook one of the running backstays over the head of the sail, but we were able to flick it off with a bit of help, and since then we've just been enjoying having the sail up there and sailing around with Dorothy, who's also looking really beautiful just ahead, and of course Argonaut is out here as well, and very light wind but great conditions for testing that sail out, and yeah, just a beautiful, lovely evening. So Dorothy just pulled up alongside Tally Ho. We're just drifting out in the bay, furling some sails, and we're gonna hop aboard and have a little look around. Oh, a compass and soul. That's so cool.
A lot of things about her that are original. That is original.
Yeah.
The mast, if you can believe it, is original.
Really?
And that roller reefing is original.
Really?
Turner
Cool.
roller reefing.
So we're currently underway, and I just want to show you a few of the systems in the chart table area before we go up on deck and check out the Autopilot. So down here we've got our chart displayed on the computer screen, and that's showing our GPS position and wind data and depth and all sorts of other things. We've got this display showing our tank levels here. You can see our fuel tanks are doing pretty well, and our water tanks are also doing pretty well. Right now we've actually got the water maker on, so the port tank is being filled up as we speak. We can check our battery percentage, 82%. We're not charging right now, although we could be if we wanted to be. Got our VHF radio, that's all working great. Got a handheld charging down here, handheld VHF radio there, contacting other vessels and marinas and that sort of thing, Coast Guard. Up here I've got all the pilot books and cruising guides and that sort of thing, and we've got some more navigational charts and chart books in here. And I've also got my editing laptop here, and can very easily change this screen to be in editing mode. So right now on the chart mode it's pulling the chart from the navigational computer, but now I've switched it and it's now in editing mode running off of this laptop. So that's pretty cool. I can be editing while we are sailing. And all our camera gear is stored under here. and logbook for the boat here, and manuals and things for engine and other system stuff there. We've got our clock and barometer up here, very important, and that's about it in this area right now. So you can hear the engine going right now probably. The engine room door is closed. We'll have a little peek in there, but you won't be able to hear much. And then we'll go up on deck, and Bob's on watch and can see how the autopilot's going. Probably can't hear me at all in here, but engine's running smoothly, water maker is on down here. Okay, so out on deck, Bob's on watch. I'm supposed to be on watch any minute now, but I'm probably going to be a bit late because I'm filming this. But as you can see, Bob's not steering the boat is steering itself, because we've got this autopilot contraption. It's a tiller pilot, which is a device designed to steer a boat like it's doing, but it's designed to steer a much smaller boat with a much lighter tiller. If we put this on the main tiller of Tally Ho, it wouldn't work. It's far too much force required to move our rudder, but it is operating the trim tab. You can see this piston going in and out, and it's moving the trim tab on the back of the rudder, which in turn, because of the water pressure going over it, is moving the rudder. And you can see the tiller adjusting as this follows its preset course. Now, we need to go that way, Bob's telling me, so I'm just gonna press this button a few times, and you can see the tiller coming towards the camera, and the boat's gonna be going that way. Just like magic. And it's really pretty cool to see this because Tally Ho has a pretty heavy helm, a heavy rudder, heavy tiller, because of the weight and size of the boat and the size of the rudder. It takes a lot of force to move this by hand, but this little guy just will do it all day long. It takes not much force at all to move the little trim tab tiller. So right now we're actually approaching our destination for the day, and we're coming into some narrow channels and there's a bit of traffic around, so we're actually going to take this off and steer by hand for the last little bit. So it's a pretty simple operation. I just come around here, hit the standby button, pop it off, and now Bob's got manual control again. Also up on deck we've got an iPad, and this is a repeater of the navigational program that's on the PC down there, so you can't see it very well. It's in its waterproof bag here, and it's plugged in as well, but it's showing our position, our speed, and that sort of thing. As you can tell, we're not doing traditional navigation right now, but we've got a big list of things like that we're trying to do and then we're working towards, and for now this is the way that we're able to get around safely. So a few people have been asking how Tally Ho handles, and we've been trying to use the boat in a variety of different conditions as we start this trip. Generally speaking, I feel like the boat handles really well. She certainly sails much better than I had really hoped. And of course, being a big, pretty heavy boat with a tiller, sometimes the tiller can be pretty heavy, and with this type of rig, a gaff cutter, there are points of sail where sometimes it can be hard to balance the rig completely, so you do have to put some muscle into controlling the boat with a tiller. But on a boat of this size with a tiller, it's not uncommon to have to use a block and tackle sometimes to control the tiller, and we haven't had to do that yet, so that's good, even though we do have provision to if we need to. But on most points of sail, she's pretty easy to steer. In fact, generally the helm feels heavier when we're under power, and I think that's just something to do with the way the propeller pushes the water over the rudder. On the next leg of our trip, we had a bit more wind, a bit more weather, a slightly more open area of water where waves had built up into quite a short, steep swell. And we decided, because we were just going a short distance, to motor straight into it and see how the boat handles. She was pitching up and down quite a lot because of those short waves, but everything inside the boat felt really secure. There weren't any nasty noises, so I was really pleased about that, although the pitching of the boat did feel quite extreme and it actually shook the anchor loose, so I had to go up on the bow and secure it properly on the foredeck. Argonaut 2, being a longer boat, longer than the length of the waves in fact, didn't pitch nearly as much, but they did get some really good footage from Argonaut of Tally-ho pitching up and down as we motored into the wind and swell.
Muster the crew, 8 a.m. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, set it off with the slack. Probably right before the slack, and then we can get out. But you know, up here, it should probably don't really matter about the tides. We should
People are gonna be like, what happened
What's
to our Patty?
So we're gonna try and get going by about 8 a.m. and we'll go southeast around this little reef, up through this narrow passage inside these islands, around and into the national park. It's about 15, 17 miles, and then whatever time we want to in the afternoon we can just motor up here to Nick.
Castle Lake.
Castle Lake.
8 a.m. start? Yeah, probably don't need to worry about the tides.
Feels like
What happened?
What
happened?
I have a feeling we're about to experience some top level anchorage. Wow, dude.
Oh my god.
Holy moly. So people have been asking where we're going on this trip and why, and it seems probably like we're just off having a nice time enjoying the boat, which is part of it of course, and an important part of it. But there is a bit more to it. This trip has been planned in such a way that it's going to get progressively more and more challenging in terms of seamanship, navigation, weather, boat handling skills, all that kind of thing. So the first part of the trip has been in protected waters, in the San Juan Islands and coming up the Inside Passage. And then as we start heading further north, we're going to start seeing more challenges. The first of those is going to be some really strong currents and tides in the Desolation Sound area, where you've got a lot of water going through very narrow gaps. And then further north, we're going to be going around Cape Caution, and that is the first time the boat's going to be leaving protected waters and going out into the open Pacific. Next, we'll be actually crossing Hecate Strait over to Haida Gwaii itself. Haida Gwaii is a very remote island group, and Hecate Strait, that separates it from the mainland BC, is one of the most notoriously dangerous and unpredictable bits of water in the whole of North America. Assuming we can safely cross Hecate Strait, we'll be in southern Haida Gwaii in the national park, which is extremely remote, and we'll be fending for ourselves for a couple of weeks without any access to facilities or stores or anything like that. So that'll be a really good test for our provisioning skills and just being completely self-reliant really. Then we'll be going through some more challenging rapids and then onto the west coast of Haida, which is even more remote, but it's also far more exposed. The east coast is protected from the Pacific wind and waves, but the west coast is exposed. So if we get out there, it'll be even more challenging and even more weather to deal with. And from there we'll be going south and then down the west coast of Vancouver Island, which is similar. It's not quite as remote, but it's equally as exposed to the Pacific weather. So up until now, things have been pretty easy, pretty chill. We've been enjoying the boat in pretty nice conditions, in pretty safe areas, but we're just coming up to the first of our challenges really, which is going to be some tidal rapids or tidal overfalls, depending on where you are in the world and what you want to call them, but areas where huge amounts of water are pushed by the tide through very narrow gaps, and you get all sorts of crazy waves and whirlpools there, and you have to time it just right to be able to get through safely.
Hey guys.
What's up, María?
So we're making good progress north, ticking off the miles. Argonaut 2 is still cruising with us just over there. We've got the two Nicks and Cozy over there, and here on Tally Ho we've got Bob, Patrick, María and myself. And right now we're just approaching 3 sets of rapids in close succession. And so you've got to go really quickly to get through all 3 of them before the tide turns. At the 3rd set of rapids there's a place called Devil's Hole, and the videos of this when it's running are just crazy. It's like a huge whirlpool. Looks really terrifying, and I'm sure would be impossible for us to get through in that condition. See if this get kicked over. Yeah. Whoa. Devil's Hole pretty much right ahead of us.
You got some shallow spots.
Well, I think we're nearly through, guys.
Yeah, dude.
I think we made it. Wasn't as bad as all that. The first bit was really the
gnarliest.
yeah. That was actually pretty scary there for a second, where the current took the bow.
Wow, dude.
And I physically couldn't get the rudder over until I shut the power back and put the engine back in neutral, and then
regained control.
Yeah. Okay, so we're the other side of the 3 sets of rapids, and luckily it wasn't too dramatic. We got our timing right.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
What are you about to do?
We are hoisting the anchor light. María?
Okay, haul her up, Patty. Wait, let's get her turned on first.
I think we should get her up first.
Get her up first, then turn her on.
I like that confidence.
Getting her up, aight?
That's good. About there.
We like it right there.
Oh,
Hey! God, it's like Christmas morning, huh?
Like the plug in the bar? No, I mean the socket for the light.
The official hair care routine of Leo Goulden.
How does he do it, they say?
This is the secret. Well, like it's the perfect little shelf for my mirror, and it all goes directly overboard, and I just need this little strap to stop me going overboard.
There you go. Just a little bit of rigging and some ingenuity, and you got it.
You could do this at home too.
Yeah.
Oh, they're huge.
How deep were they?
halibut.
20 fathom.
Wow.
Yep, that'll work.
Yeah, so cool.
And then we can say we caught it and then
Finish everything, right?
Cool, there you go, dude.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thank you.
Oh no.
Have a good one, eh?
So this morning we've arrived in a place called Port McNeill, which is a small port near the north end of Vancouver Island on the northeast. And this is really the place where we'll be provisioning for the more remote part of our trip as we go further north and then hopefully soon across to Haida Gwaii. So we've got a lot of provisioning to do, a lot of laundry to do, going to get diesel, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, we're just waiting for our taxi, go pick up our rental car and head back south. And yeah, we're just so happy we got to join Tally-Ho. But yeah, we got to go back down to Olympia. We own a little charter company called Olympia Sailing Company. And yeah, we take folks sailing down in the south end of the Salish Sea. And yeah, it's peak season, so we're excited to go sail our own boat, but we are sad to leave Tally-Ho.
definitely.
Got to send pictures.
Lots of them.
Don't take me out of the group chat. Bye, Patty Rat.
Been good getting to know you better. Thanks for bringing us on this trip.
Hi, thank you. Bye, Gal. Have someone.
Leo in Port McNeill, crossing the road.
All right, so we're trying to find the world's largest burl, which apparently is in this town.
Get that? Huh? What do you got? Nothing. You
We're
gotta
going to the
shout out
burl.
the name of the trick as you do it, though. 50-50 grind. Dismount. How come that camera's not pointing at me? Back style. Oh, you guys!
Oh, wow.
Biggest one I've ever seen. Wonder how long this one's been here.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is pretty much the craziest thing that Port McNeill has to offer.
Dude, we're in a burl.
We're in a burl.
It smells really good in there.
So here we have it, the world's largest burl, apparently. There is another one just up the road which may be larger, but this one's pretty good, and that one's 2 miles away, so we're sticking with this one. It's spruce, which is the same timber that Tally-Ho spars are made out of, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, it's been burnt, so that's a bit of a shame, but it's a beautiful piece of wood. And you know, hopefully someday someone will take the initiative and make a huge bowl out of it. Burl! So our passage around Cape Caution was, like the rapids, a little bit easier than I had anticipated, and I hope that's a result of a combination of good planning and preparation and training, but the truth is there's quite a lot of luck involved as well. But we did pick a good weather day. We had a really nice sail for a while, and then we came into a sheltered harbour the other side. The next big challenge is going to be crossing Hecate Strait, which is often described as one of the most dangerous and unpredictable areas of water in North America. Until then, thanks a lot for watching, and a massive, massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported this project. It does make a huge difference. It means we're able to carry on doing this work, it means we're able to keep on making these videos, and it means we're able to keep on sailing this boat. So I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.